Hello, I'm Brandon Montgomery. Um, I'm doing this video, or maybe videos, to maybe help you if you're searching for these things like I was. But I'm going to be having, I guess it's a major surgery. It's called ACDF, which stands for Anterior Cervical Discectomy and Fusion. So they'll be going in to the front of your neck with us. I've been reading and watching videos that say about an inch maybe incision, and they go in and replace the discs that are damaged and then fuse those discs or the vertebrae with like a plate or a bone graft and some screws. But one of the things, the reason why I was wanting to make this video was because there's not a lot of information out there about it, especially videos, which I was more inclined to do because like reading it, those medical terms and things, you can look them up, but for the most part, it's a lot easier with a person that is going through it to explain those things. There are a few videos where the doctors themselves talk about it, seminars. I've watched a lot of them, but the thing that I've noticed is nothing's really recent, and maybe that's because nothing's changed with the surgery itself. I'm not sure. But one of the things that I was more into myself, at least, was seeing those that were going through it themselves and to hear their stories, both before and after, and getting their takes on whether it was a good idea to have the surgery or not to have the surgery. And it's a very mixed bag, and if you've been looking this stuff up, you know that already. You'll get people that say it's definitely worth it, took away their pain. You'll get some that are saying that once they had the surgery, it took months to possibly even years before they started having any kind of positive effects of that. And then you'll get the others that just say that it absolutely ruined their lives. It didn't change much. And that's where the fear with me lies, is that you're having a major surgery and it may not do anything for you, or it may. And one of the things that I'm seeing and reading about is a lot of doctors will tell you that you are mere moments away from being paralyzed, that certain actions could paralyze you in your daily life. So it's scary because some of the naysayers out there are saying things like that they believed it was a lie, it was just to try to get them to have the surgery. And of course, just like a used car salesman, people are going to tell you what you need to hear in order to make the deal. So I am left with the fear that maybe it's not as bad as it may seem, but I do believe my case is pretty rough. I will try to put in an image or two of where my particular problem lies. And I'm going to get into the journey of this, so I'll just say my damage in my neck is from the C5 and C6. I don't know if they're going to have to do any more than that. Not really sure, because part of this reason I'm making the video is there's not a lot of talk about what's going on. It was a very fast process for me, at least, from them seeing me and telling me what I was going to have done, but no real explanation of anything. Everything that I've learned about this has been done by myself. I went and tried to figure out what this was, and that doesn't give me a lot of hope in a lot of things. I'm one of those people that I really like to have it hammered home what it is that's going to be done, and just being frank about it. I'm not really one to sugarcoat things, and I'm not one that will sit here and tell you that we're all the same. We're not, and you may have a very different set of issues than what I have, and we may be having to have the same surgery. So this is what this is about. So this surgery scares me. Of course, I'm like 27 days maybe from surgery, less than a month from surgery. My surgery date is set for August 15th. Today is July 23rd. At least when I'm making the video. I'm not sure when it'll get posted. So I'm less than a month away from it. I go this Friday for all of my pre-op things to basically say that I'm able to have the surgery. Hopefully that all goes well. I may make a video after that, because I'm really not sure even what all that is going to be. Again, it kind of goes back to, I'm sure all the entities that need to know are getting told things, and weirdly the person that's going to be having it done to them is, I'm not being told anything. Which is strange. I'm not being told what they're going to do. I've loosely picked up, of course, like I used to work in a hospital a long time ago, so like I've picked up a little bit of knowledge and stuff. So like I know like the simple things, like I'm sure they're going to run my blood work and all that good stuff. One of the key factors though for me was that when I was watching these people's stories about their successes or maybe not their success of this surgery, one thing stood out. Most of them were older folks, like in their late 40s, early 50s. Sometimes a couple of them were a little bit older, and then there was a couple that was around my age, but they didn't have too much information. It kind of seemed like they were going through what I was going through, and they didn't know a lot about the situation. They didn't know a lot about the surgery, and then after the fact they're just doing what they're being told to do, and then their story ended abruptly and you couldn't figure out if it ended well or not. So I intend to make these for the duration of my time away from work, which they say could be 6 to 12 weeks. That's on the higher end. They're hoping that in just a couple of weeks, like 3 to 4, that I may return to light duty, but who knows. One of the complications though with me is I'm a type 1 diabetic. And every video that I've watched, no one has mentioned if they've had any other problems. And that becomes an issue for me because you can't find out much. And then a lot of the videos, if you watch the doctors, when they're talking about things, they talk about like the things that basically allow this to become successful was like the age of the patient, which I'm younger. I'm 38, so according to my doctor, it's pretty young for this type of surgery. But anyway, back to it. The age of the patient, non-drug user, not an alcoholic or a bit heavy drinker, and then a non-diabetic. And that's the one that scares me the most. I want to know why the non-diabetic thing helps in the success rates. And the reason I want to know that is because I want to know why it would affect it. Is it going to bring my chances way low, or is it just something that they say? It all scares me because as a type 1 diabetic, I mean, that life scares me anyway. And if you're a diabetic, you know the real life situations that you're in. You have to watch what you do sometimes. You don't want to hurt your feet. You hurt sometimes, and you've learned to hide it, because it's one of those invisible. Sadly, it's just one of the things that I've talked about with other people that are diabetics, and I've talked to a couple of other people that have had like spine surgery that I happen to work with, or things. And anytime you're dealing with something like this, they're invisible damages. Like, you can't tell that somebody's hurt because they look normal. Me as a diabetic, I hurt a lot sometimes, but now I'm learning that a lot of the new hurting for the last almost year is not because of diabetes, and I just processed it as, oh, it must be because when I got a year older, then I was thinking, maybe it's because I'm getting older that I'm going through this, and learning that it's not. So basically, this video is just telling the reason why I wanted to do it, and that's why. So basically, at the end of the day, what I'm hoping to do is make a couple of videos. This one explaining why, and the why is because there's not a lot of information, especially a new, relatively within the 2000s and 20s. It seems like the newest one that I've seen was around 6 years ago. And then there's a lot that's older. So I wanted that. I'm hoping that if you watch this video, or in these videos, that it will help you understand the situation, and hopefully at the end of this all, I will be great and everything will be perfect, and I'll be healthy and not hurting anymore. And then you could see if it was worth it or not through my eyes, and then hopefully it helps you with your decision. So yeah, I'm around the 12-minute mark now, so I'm probably going to end it here with this. This is just the beginning of many videos. I'm going to make another one beginning my journey to today, and that's going to be coming up. So anyway, thank you for your time. I hope that this set of videos will help you, and if you have any comments, if you have anything, if you've been through this, I welcome your comments. I want to know if you went through this. I want to know if you're going through this, and if you have been through this, I want to know what it was like for you, and to see if we have similarities and things like that. And I will add one thing. Mine's already set. A few of the videos that I've watched, a lot of people were going through and commenting things like, you don't need to have this done, don't do this, you're a fool if you do it, and sometimes even worse language than that. And they would address that with basically saying, I have to. I'm literally, I don't have any other alternatives. And in my case, you'll see there's probably not too many alternatives that I have, and just in my case. So you're not gonna really turn me away from having the surgery. It's kind of set in stone. So if you want to comment that stuff, you can, but it's not gonna sway me. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good day.